Uzbekistan is Central Asia's most populous state, and it is one of the most popular tourism destinations here in the region, being on the ancient Silk Road. But not only that, Uzbekistan quite significantly makes up large numbers of tourists going to the UAE. And joining us today is Mr. Habib from Dubai's Department of Economy and Tourism. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And in your capacity, you are regional head for South Asia and MENA region as well as proximal markets. How do you see kind of your strategy approaching each of these markets? Does it alter? Does it change? And how so?
So I think when you look at them regionally, there's a very different approach. There's a tailored strategy for each. Given that in South Asia, there's a lot more awareness. Historically, people have been visiting Dubai for many, many years. Even the GCC, because of the proximity, there's a lot of familiarity in the way Dubai operates and the way they know Dubai. I think in markets such as Uzbekistan and the region here, I think these are emerging markets for us. I think there's a long way to go, and I think we've initiated very well. And I think moving forward, these markets will now become the markets that will drive a lot of visitation to us over the next 5-10 years. So I think we're just at a different trajectory with the markets, but the vision is the same, the approach is the same, and the intentions are the same.
Well, speaking of that vision, what are your long-term goals for engaging with this Central Asian region and specifically Uzbekistan?
Sure. For this, I'll take you one step back. I think at the end of the day, everything stems from our leadership, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai, and the D33 vision that he launched last year. And the aim of this vision is to, number one, double the size of the economy. Number two, to ensure that we can have sustainable economic impact. And third is to ensure that Dubai becomes the number one city to live and work in. So from that perspective, I think all regions are important for us at this point, especially the region that we are now. We've initiated travel trade packages and a lot of products with the travel trade. We have launched campaigns here, such as the Kids Go Free. Kids Go Free is a campaign where kids, you don't pay for the kids. The adults would stay in a hotel and go to attractions, and kids would go free with them. That's an initiative we launched for the summer, which is doing very well. And also we were constantly in touch with the airlines to see how can we support the efforts to grow connectivity between Uzbekistan and the wider region here and Dubai.
Because there are daily flights at the moment between Uzbekistan and
Correct.
Dubai.
There are multiple daily flights and more reasons. And what we've seen historically is that the moment you put availability to people, that's the first step to bringing tourism in. And once the first cohort of tourism goes back to the country, they start talking about how well Dubai is placed. And I think that really helps us to kind of bring more people in. So we're definitely part of the agenda to ensure that we can continue to grow connectivity across different cities, because we know demand is there.
Yeah.
We could see the numbers, the occupancies are great, the load factor is great on these flights. So we don't see a reason why we shouldn't, why we should just settle with what we have currently.
Yeah. And one of the things that is kind of facilitating the ease of the movement is the new visa-free regime that was implemented in January this year.
Yes.
And through that, have you seen any significant rise over these last 6 or so months of influx in tourism?
We did. If we look at our numbers between Jan and June this year versus last year, same period, we're about 8% ahead. And I think that's a great number to highlight, because an 8% increase over a year really tells you how the entire year will span out. Given that we're now moving into the period where we have winter, so we have the DSF, the Dubai Shopping Festival, the Dubai Fitness Challenge, so a lot is coming. We're confident that we will close this year on a positive note out of this country.
Well, here's hoping, because last year the figures were at about 132,000 tourists from Uzbekistan for the entirety of 2023 had visited.
And on that note, that's a 56% increase versus 2022. So we've come a long way, just post-pandemic. And I think we've just started in this region, and there's a lot more to be done, like I said. And we're looking to kind of continue with that growth trajectory to see how we can place ourselves, and not just for tourism, but also kind of to encourage Uzbeks to come and look at Dubai as a place to live. And Dubai offers you a lifestyle that can support your growth. Your children are bringing the schooling system, the infrastructure. So that's also part and parcel of what we want to achieve out of this market.
For me, I wanted to ask a little bit about the startup ecosystem, if you have any information on that, because Uzbekistan, I'm sure you're aware, they have quite a new startup ecosystem, and it's growing quite rapidly. And I know that there have been deals with in Qatar with their Ministry of Innovation about allowing startup founders to set up office there and get some sort of residency or ease of setting up business there. Do you see something similar in Dubai?
Absolutely. In fact, we have the entrepreneur's visa that we've introduced, we have the investor visa, and we have the golden visa. All these visa policies have been put in place to ensure the entrepreneurs can look at Dubai as a place to grow their business, at the same time to kind of find a long-term opportunity to live in Dubai. And we have some amazing incubators that support startups. We have different seed capitals. We have, it's a nice melting pot between investors and businesses. And Dubai is emerging to be the new center of the world, as we like to call it.
And there's also the fund of funds I'm aware of.
Right, there's multiple ways in which if you have a good idea, our pitch is simple. If you have a good idea, Dubai is for you. If you have the money that needs to go into a good idea, Dubai is for you. And we just want to make sure that we can make these two people meet so that they can kind of, co-create value for themselves and for Dubai, ultimately.
Ultimately, yes. The region here operates majorly using not traditional social media, but Telegram. And I want to ask, do you see any space for Telegram being utilized in any way for boosting tourism?
So Telegram, as you rightly mentioned, is an important platform. For us, we consider it equally as important as any other, such as Facebook, Instagram. In fact, at Dubai Economy and Tourism, we did launch our Telegram account last year. And we're running tailored campaigns to see how we can build our brand to the users of Telegram. And that is an ongoing project that will continue to grow year on year. So definitely we do feel that, ultimately Dubai is after the consumers and we go wherever they are. Yeah. So whether they're Instagram, Telegram, tomorrow if you tell me there's a new platform, Dubai will be there because we want to be the first people and we want to make ourselves visible to people rather than just asking them to come to places that we are visible. So for us, visibility is very important. And that has been our USP. We go after people wholeheartedly in the hope that, we can convert them into visitors and eventually residents.
Mm-hmm. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Do you see space for increase of tourism flow from the UAE to Uzbekistan? And what do you think would be the easiest way to improve those numbers of visitors?
So I can talk for Dubai for sure because for our tourism mandate is more inbound.
Yeah.
So I won't be able to comment on the outbound, but what I can tell you is that if there are capacities, it's both ways. Mm-hmm. So opportunities lie on both sides. And me being an Emirati myself, this is my first visit to the city, and you have an advocate in me as well. So, it's a great place to be in. I think Emiratis are looking for new options as well. So I don't see why this will not flourish as well, and I don't see why Emiratis will not come to a place where they feel welcomed, where they have great food, good weather.
Yes.
So I think it could potentially be a win-win situation for both the countries and both the cities.
And an incredible history too.
Absolutely, and a shared culture, the shared Islamic traditions that we share. I think that really comes in handy because that's where you kind of connect the dots and you have this understanding right from the onset. The cultures are familiar in some aspects.
And similar notions of hospitality and being a good host and welcoming to everyone.
100%. And we want to build on that moving forward. In Dubai, we don't know, our leader says that, you don't stop and you just have to continue, keep going. There's no such thing as we've done it all. So we keep reinventing the wheel. And you'll notice that within our ecosystem is that we don't settle for anything. We want to outdo ourselves. And the true competition for Dubai is Dubai.
That's always another goal.
100%. And it's our own records that we want to break moving forward.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Shukran.
Afwan.